Let's have the reading of the minutes. Get comfortable in this chair. KB Homeowners Association monthly meeting, February 11th, 2020. The February 11th meeting was called to order at 6:10 p.m. by President Michael Boshkevich. Board members present were Michael, Jack Walker, Ruby Gonzalez, John Volkman, and Martin Swisher. Also present were Chelsea, Hagelmeyer, Tabitha and David Happel, Derek Johnson, May Folsom, Chester Hevings Sr., Chester Hevings Jr., Heather Watkins and Robert Humphrey, Robert Lottie, and George and Tina Groom. Michael read the minutes from the January meeting and a few additions and corrections were made. Loopy made a motion to accept the minutes, and Jack second. The list of bills to be paid was also read by Michael, and Jack made a motion to pay, and John seconded. That should be new business. Chester Hevings Jr. presented the board with a list of questions that the homeowners would like to be answered. Number one, why hasn't the board of directors of the KV started an architectural control committee, water committee, and a road and bridges committee? Answer, the reason is that it's not needed at this time. Number two, where are we on the installation of the water meters and being in compliance by May 2021? And what do we have to do to come into compliance with the water court rules? Answer, these dates have been pushed back to 2025 because the District 5 has just barely been formed. And they first have to do their rules and regulations, and then they can go from there. How many lawsuits, number three, how many lawsuits is the KV involved in at this time? There are 3 current lawsuits at this point: the Havings lawsuit, the Mondale foreclosure, and the Tina Swisher case. B, Mr. Havings said to contact Colorado Recycling for the Mondale cleanup. That's fine. The question number 4, how many board members are being paid, including Lupe Gonzalez, knowing it's against Article 6, Section 4 under the Board of Directors compensation page of the bylaws? And did you or did you not contact the KV attorney to see if this would be legal? How it would fare under liability laws? Answer, Lupe is a board member, but he is also our maintenance man. When Lupe is performing the duties of a board member, he is a board member. And when he is in the capacity as a maintenance man, he is not a board member. Lupe, Jacob knows Lupe is the maintenance man. As for the rest of the board, no. And as for this board sitting at this table tonight, all pay their assessments. 5, putting a fire station on KV property, can we or can we not? And what is the overall plan on fire mitigation? Answer, it has been discussed many times. The district is aware of the increase in population in the KV, Joyful Journey, Mineral Hot Springs, and Ewing Ranch subdivisions. It has been discussed that the area is growing and there is need for another firehouse. However, the fire departments are in need of volunteers. 6, why did the board not replace a former board member with someone who was on the ballot from the last election who was nominated and voted for? Answer, we would like to have representation from all filings. We didn't honestly think about the past election. 7, where do we stand on the collection of debts owed to the KV estates? And why are we spending more money on lots that show little return? Answer, we are picking up lots that are more desirable and resaleable. They are the lots that generally have water and or electricity already on them. As to the collection of debts owed to us, we have had homeowners paying or making arrangements to pay on their accounts. 8, has the board gotten confirmation that all former members have been removed from the bank accounts? Answer, we are doing that as soon as possible, hence why this has been brought up at the past few meetings. We are waiting for Jason to bring a fish. We are waiting for Jason to be officially off the board and John officially on to finalize the banking. All past and former members are no longer on the accounts, and all the credit cards will have been canceled. 9, what is the year we can review and change the covenants and bylaws? And will there be a committee of homeowners to take suggestions on what they would like to be changed? Answer, bylaws can be changed whenever the need arises, and the covenants can be changed every 10 years. All property owners need to have a say, not just the people who reside in the KV. 10, what is the policy and procedure for removal of a board member? The board member can be removed from the board for 3 missed or unexcused meetings. Chelsea asked about what is being done about the trash pileup on Rundle. They are being watched by the sheriff's office. That lot is owned by a company named Land L LLC, and they are selling that lot to those people who have bought in all that stuff. The board gave approval for Robert and Tonya Lottie to bring in a storage container and build a garage addition. It was discussed about contacting Road and Bridges and County Commissioner's Office about posting speed limit signs throughout the KV. Jack made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:30 p.m. And Jack seconded. Minutes written by Tina Groom, secretary. There are a couple of small little spelling corrections. Is there any other corrections or additions?
Michelle, I think it is. Michelle, Robert, and Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Tanya.
No, they put Tanya on the paper.
It's on your paper. All right.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as slightly corrected?
I do the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Are you serious? Bills to be paid, Conley Waste, March trash, $25. Jones Oil, March propane. See how when it got warm, how nice that is? $333.60. San Luis Valley Rural Electric, March Electric, $1,088.93. Pinnacle Assurance, $67. Nationwide Insurance, $20. Southern Colorado Water for March water tests, $280. Law of the Rockies General Representation, $48.34. And Law of the Rockies, $1,309.37. Consolidated Communications, March phone, $146.21. Lupe Gonzalez, March maintenance, $1,200. Tina Groom, March wages, not maintenance, $1,200, for a total of, we won't do that. Credit card charges, USA Blue Book for parts for the chlorine pumps for the well house, $392.59. Abbott Bingo Products, I never thought I'd say that. Bingo Supplies, $164.83. Slide Ace for a faucet and a heater, $135.76. Walmart for bleach, soda, and water, $66.16. And Altiva Fuel, $42.50. For a total of $801.78. You heard the deals. That second lot of lawyer bill, the secretary at the lawyer's office emailed me this afternoon this bill. And I'm going, why? So I emailed it to Tina and she wrote a check. But I don't know, I think it's just I don't know what their deal was. Because we're not behind, because here's one. It's been a busy month and they shipped out another bill, probably. You heard the reading of the bills to be paid. Do I have a motion to pay the bill?
Yes. Second.
There we go. Old business. Does anybody have any old business? We'll start with new business. We have someone on the agenda under new business, Chester Havings Jr.
Okay, that's 10 questions. I try to keep it to 10 questions. And
No, not again. Board meetings request that the things be written and handed in advance of the questions.
that's not fair because then you do not give a straight, honest answer. You guys beat around the bush, and I don't have all the questions compiled until the day of. That's kind of
That's actually the
impossible.
way the rules are for board meetings.
Well, maybe this board should start following some of those other rules too. Like Robert's Rule of Order would be a nice one. The floor has been yielded to me, and that's something to take up for next meeting. I'll submit them for next meeting. But this time it can't apply because it wasn't even brought up until now. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
They need to be, I mean, anyone that can come into a meeting and ask a question, or 2 questions, you know, whatever, but 10 questions.
Well, these are from all the homeowners that emailed them to me. And for anonymity's sake, I said I'd ask them.
Let's see your emails.
I don't have to show you shit,
I
Loopy.
don't have to show you shit either.
It would really be nice that if you printed these questions out with the homeowner's name on them, so we could.
No,
look at
because
it.
That way you can retaliate.
that's what the fear is. That's why they
That's why
asked
they're
me.
doing this, because they don't want to be
Fear of what?
It's the same goddamn thing Ed did and everybody else. They start asking questions, next thing you know, shit happens at their house. No, that ain't gonna happen. That's why this is incognito.
And under the First Amendment, I can, you know, freedom of the press, I'm acting as a press agent, and if you read the fine color of it, I don't have to give you shit. All I have to do is ask the questions. I'm not trying to get any direct freaking argument or anything like that. You say what it is, it gets published. That's all there is to it. I'm not editing it, I'm not manipulating it, I'm not doing anything. I'm just asking a fucking question.
Let's go with the questions and I'll ask Jacob about it and we'll present it next month.
That's fine. Okay. Questions for the board for the March 10th, 2020. There are only 10 questions. And the first question, is the board going to invite the Water Conservancy Board to a monthly meeting to explain what the water issues are and what needs to be done to become compliant?
It was my understanding that according with the test that Fred does, everything is in compliance.
Well, that also brings up another question too.
Yeah. No, I hadn't thought about it. I've been emailing them. But I haven't thought about inviting them to come over here.
I got another question then. Has anybody got hold of the water commissioner, Pat McDermott?
Yeah, I email him all the time.
Well,
I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Because I'm at Pat McDermott's office at least once a month. And why? Because I'm dealing with a deal with my brother on a ditch going through his 80 acres. All right, I know for a fact he has not heard from you since last November. And it was 2 emails, you never talked to him, and Pat's pretty upset. And he actually went in to check with the water district, and there is nothing there about any of our paperwork. So I think you need to get Pat McDermott in here to run a
in
meeting.
and see what it is that he's wanting, because the last email that I got from him, I asked him about compliance, and he says, "We're not, as far as we know, you're not out of compliance with nothing."
That ain't either, that isn't what he told me. He came
And I
into
still
my
have
meeting
those
with another
emails.
officer and asked me to come in there because he wanted to talk.
Since the board, the KB is out of compliance? Should they be getting hold of the board or the president instead of you?
I was there. Pat's right on the money, he's man to man.
What's your
And
next question?
Okay. Okay, number 2. When does the HOA board post their water quality reports for the members of the association? That's part 1. And part 2, will the board of the HOA also publish any water violations that have occurred within the last year?
The water testing is done, the water is tested every day and logged. And every month when they do the tests, the results are posted in the office.
Okay,
And then the
annual-
and the lab sends all that information into the state, right?
And then the annual report, we haven't done that yet, and I'm not sure when we do that.
Not we.
We do that, because I used to do those years ago, and I haven't done it yet. So that annual report hasn't come up yet. And so when we do that, the results of that will be posted in the office, and hopefully by then we'll have a bulletin board
okay,
outside, because that's priority for the spring, and it'll be on the bulletin board right here on the corner.
okay, number 3. Is there any member of the board qualified to repair drinking water supply lines? And if so, can they produce their licenses or qualifications? And which of the, okay, with the water leaks that happened in the past year, has anyone checked on the repairs that were made on them? And has anyone checked to ensure that the water taps that were installed are not leaking?
I have no idea who's certified on this board, and I drive around all the time looking for water leaks.
You might want to go back through and look around Hazard Circle again, because it looks
not
like there's
Hazard Ford.
Ford, wrong circle, I'm sorry. But Ford Circle, there is a water standpipe out there that has a significant ice flow around it. You might want to go back out there and look again.
On the Circle or on Ford?
On Ford itself before you.
Because I have a leak, we have a leak on Ford,
Okay,
on the end of Ford, just before it makes a circle.
Well, it's
comes
where
into
Joey
this-
went out and worked on it 3 times and he couldn't get it stopped.
I have no idea.
Well, anyway, I was driving and I seen it.
The one at the end of Ford before it
It's got
becomes
the
a
greenish
circle,
top.
there, half a block up, there's a leak on the east side of the road. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
okay, moving on to number 4. When will the HOA Board of Directors be forming committees to handle water issues and to ensure compliance with the water court rulings? Because people are feeling that the board is being overwhelmed with certain aspects, and wouldn't it be appropriate to delegate down some of that work?
I don't feel that way at this time.
Well, some of your constituencies think it is.
What's constituents?
Constituents means your fellow homeowners.
My neighbors.
Yes. They're just looking out for your personal well-being, thinking you might be getting overwhelmed.
So far, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Is that the reason you're losing hair?
That's where, no, that was the ex-wife and her dad did that.
Oh.
All right.
So I got rid of her. And the dad.
Now, number 5. When will the board of directors be able to publish their annual budget to include summer and winter budgets, as far as road, water, whatever, electrical? Because as a homeowners association, we have the same amount of right to know what the budget is.
We did a budget last fall for the 2020 year. And that's all that I've gotten done so far. I've got a lot of stuff in the works that we're gonna be doing this summer. And I could put it in paper if that's what somebody wanted.
That would be
They're
great.
they're not 100%, they're all estimates.
Well, the estimate's
So,
better than nothing,
You
I
know,
mean,
so it isn't 100%, but it's all an estimate, but I've got. Where are all my estimates? I got them here and I can put them, I went through this and fixed it up pretty good. It might be in there, but I can,
because, a lot of people would like to know how much we're planning for a winter budget for like snow removal, and summer budget for like electrical, water, the
We haven't
repair
got
and
to
maintenance.
next winter, because next winter will be in the 2021 budget.
I understand that, but
And
people
so
would just
I don't
like to
have-
have a rough idea.
There's the budget that we did for 2020. Where's my bids? All I have to do, no, that's bad stuff. I'll have to put that together. I can put that together, very easily and have a handout next meeting, about, we're gonna do that too. About, what I've got bids. I've got several bids on things, for this summer. The work that we're gonna do this summer here.
Okay, because that's all they're wanting to know, and I felt it was a valid question. Because people would like to
It
know,
has to be within the budget, so it's already, in that budget, but yeah.
but as members of the association or homeowners or landowners, we would just like to know how the board of trustees, which by statute are responsible for being trustees of public funds, are using this money that they have.
The members' money.
Yes, and that we all have a right to know that. Well,
I
that
have a
way,
problem with that, I just don't have it right now.
well, those are the kind of questions I'm asking. I'm really not trying to pick a fight.
What's the next question? Cause I still have a lot of stuff of my own to do.
Okay. Number 6. Okay. What the KV budget concerns, why is the board of directors buying land when the KV has had so much problems with collecting on land payments and repossessions? I mean, this one, I'm just writing them down as I go.
That question was asked last month, and
Yes.
we're actually doing very well on our collections, and the ones that aren't paying are getting foreclosed on.
Okay.
And why are we buying more lots? I've kind of quit buying lots that are, out in the bush. And I've kind of concentrated on the ones that already have power at lot line. So that they would be a more desirable lot to flip. And then this spring, Tina's gonna put a list together of all the lots that we own, cause we own like 88 lots. And, so we got about 30 that we don't have anybody paying on.
Okay, I have a
So of
personal
those
question.
30, we're gonna mow them, all of them. And we're gonna send the list to Jeff. And he's gonna do a big push, and we're gonna try to get them going, flipping this spring.
Okay,
And properties flipping right now. There's been 3 houses selling this place this month.
I think we should consider infrastructure, eventually we'll probably have to go to septic, or to a centralized sewer system. And with these lots, maybe that's an opportunity to look at that.
I have
Yes.
another idea for that.
okay,
Hang on.
My question is how are we doing on flipping lots?
We haven't started flipping any new ones because it's been winter. But she's starting to get people, we got one that she showed me just now, people are already starting to call.
Okay, I was just wondering if we have sold any, or
No,
there's good prospects, because this is something everybody else needs to know too.
No, right, and I don't have a problem with that because it's all members' money.
okay. I have one personal question.
We have had, since I've taken over, Tina Swisher had me sign 2 or 3 that people paid off. And then, we had that one that Tina Swisher wanted me to foreclose on, and I just didn't have time. And he walked in with $8,000 in cash and paid it off. When Tina come in, and I've done 3 deeds, 4 deeds? Since Tina's been in there, of people that have come in, paid them off, and the realtor writes the deeds. And then I had to do a statement of authority, have it notarized and have it filed into the clerk and recorder's office in Saguache, because the property is owned by the KV Homeowners Association, and so Michael Pushkevich cannot sign because my name is not KV Homeowners Association. So I have to present a statement of authority stating that I have the right to sell KV Homeowners Associations as if it's another person.
In other words, you have their basic power of
I have
attorney.
the right to sign for the KV Homeowners Association, and I have that. I found
Okay,
that yesterday.
all right, I
So
think
there's the
that
statement of authority, I had to have
one.
notarized and recorded in the clerk's office, so that I can sign, and in one of these days, I'm gonna have the vice president do one as well, just in case I decide to go to Puerto Vallarta or somewhere.
And get coronavirus.
It's in Gunnison,
Yeah, I know.
okay,
All right, now, with all these lots, this is my personal concern. This popped up this last week. And I personally witnessed it. I even called Tina about it. I personally witnessed someone pull onto a KV owned lot because it apparently has been repossessed and use it as a garbage dump.
is that down there?
Right down there by
I saw
my,
that the other day and I locked it up and I went, that was good on my bolt. Yeah, I saw that. And so when Loopy has been kind of under the weather here, when Loopy gets up and running again, he's gonna have to take his dump truck down there and clean that up.
Well,
I've got a question for you on that note. Now, we have a lot of KV repossessed lots.
We have about 30 lots that we own.
Yeah,
And
and
there's
the,
about 5-ish that we got.
how many of those look like they belong at the Saguache County landfill?
Those 3, there on y'all's corner there, where there were the pallet corner, I call it the pallet lot now. Did you notice they come and stole the slide off cabin out of there or whatever that was?
No, they repossessed it. And they took the convicts box too.
They took everything out of there, left us the pallets
And the camper.
and that camper, which,
That's a problem. We've got a fifth wheel, cattywampus to right down from my lot, and I've watched people go in
is
there.
that the open door camper
Yeah.
behind that,
Well, it wasn't open till.
Pollard? Dewey, behind Dewey's?
Yes.
He come in the office today, that's why. So
We,
that's that fifth wheel that's back there that goes north and south and the doors open on? Is
yeah,
that on the KV lot?
yes, it was.
And we have the rat house over yonder.
How are we gonna
Tabitha
start
wants it,
cleaning
see,
this
look
up?
at
The rat
wants
house,
it.
that is exactly
She
what
wants
it
it.
is.
We're gonna give that to Tabitha, the rat
No,
house.
the rats are so busy in there, they're pushing the door open, the cops say.
Yeah.
The doors.
How are we gonna start cleaning this up? I had a good friend from Denver come down. He was looking at buying some places down here. And he stopped at my house and he says to me, Chester, you're a good friend of mine, but I don't understand why in the fuck you're living in a goddamn third world country when you don't have to. I said, because we're trying to change it. We're trying to make it a good, responsible place for hardworking people and good families to move into to make it a better environment. So my question is, what are we going to be doing to start cleaning up our image? And we need to start with cleaning up what looks like a third world country.
When the demolition company comes in, if no one buys that K8, if we end up with that Danny Mondale property, we're gonna have a demolition company come in and clean it. And so when they clean it, we're gonna clean everything.
That would be a good idea because when I have friends come down from Denver and they ask why I'm living in a third world country,
What is it called?
I love this place, but I hate the fact that we have allowed it to go to hell in a handbasket.
Asbestos. Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
I got another question. Has anybody thought about, people all the time go to court, they get stuck with community service.
I thought about that the other day,
And-
where are they at?
You gotta go to the sheriff, talk to Dan, and he gets a list. And, that'd be good for Loopy. He can drive around there and these guys can throw shit out of the bar ditch in the back of his truck,
That way he doesn't have to do any labor except for driving, he gets
And
to
just
play
keep an eye
supervisor.
on them, so make sure they do it and sign off that they did 8 hours or 6 hours.
Well, we've got several jobs and I'm trying to get the teenage boys did you notice that? In the community. Well, there's some other ones too. We've got several little projects this spring, like the bulletin board, and we're gonna be doing projects like this. And I was hoping to find some teenage kids that actually wanna work. And the one I asked looked at me and said, and so I went, okay, he's off the list, but okay. So, we are gonna have jobs like that, and I was hoping to pay some kids for that. But I was thinking about community service the other day too.
You are, this is a nonprofit, so I don't see why. You couldn't go down there and put the KB
Oh, we
on the
can.
list.
Oh, we can, I did it with Villa Grove Bonanza Fire Department. Oh, yeah, we can.
Well, see,
I just
Randy
was
does
wanting
it
to
all the
pay
time
some
at the
kids.
landfill. Randy does it at the landfill to clean up around there. He'll go to the sheriff and say, well, I need 6 guys. I think that's why, how come the judge says, well, you got community service, buddy. You too.
Okay, the last one. And I thank the board for obliging me. Okay, this one is to do with mail. Okay, we have all of our mailboxes down through here off the roads, and Early Mandel does a really good job, I will admit that. But I've had mail stolen out of my mailbox. People around here have had mail stolen out of their mailbox. And is there any way we can put up, the U.S. Postal Service out of Crestone said, all we'd have to do is pour the pad and they would install the big boxes. Because if we went through the county, we'd have to get permission to put it in the right of way. Is there any way we can get approval to put it here at the office? It's in a central location, it's lit, it's a good idea, it's a central place. And that way, if we have secure packages, which I get quite a few of because of medical needs, and wouldn't it be good for the rest of the community if we'd be able to put in those boxes? Because U.S. Postal Service put them in, all we have to do is pour the pad and give them permission to have it.
There was some people at a meeting, and I wasn't on the board then, I had just gotten off and went to a board meeting for something. And there was a postal person come to the meeting and was throwing a fit because the mileage that Orlean gets paid to run the mail route was figured X number of years ago, and we've quadrupled in size now, and there's that many more boxes now, and all the boxes are on the wrong side of the street. Yours is on one side, mine's on the other side, and and on the same street, and everybody's on the wrong side of their street for the mailing. And so that's what they wanted to do, is they wanted to set up one bank of boxes.
Well, that pad only has to
Somewhere.
be 3 inches thick by however long,
But
and it doesn't cost that much for cement.
300 boxes.
Well, it doesn't cost that much for cement.
No, but I mean, you realize wouldn't we need like 300 boxes here now?
Hey,
Well,
Mike,
Go ahead.
we got all this area out here in front of the, whatever you want to call it. It's got all the cement and the chain link. It'd be an ideal place for it. Right in front of the deal.
No, I actually agree with what you're saying, not there, but I agree with what you're
but someone
saying.
here,
But I would try to put it more on the street, and then I would say we need a light over it, because
you
you'll
can
find
get
out.
solar lights. I got them at my house. I mean, street lights, I mean, they're not that expensive. They don't,
40-some bucks.
They're $25 a month, aren't they?
I know.
What did you
no,
get?
solar.
Oh, solar, no, I agree, no, the street lights that the REA does, now we buy one now, and I'm not happy with it, because it's like, I thought it was $25.83. I can't remember my own address, but I remember that. And, let me go right into the next thing. We have had more break-ins here.
yes.
Bad. And so Loopy and I are now security guards. We now are driving around not really security guards, we are now driving around multiple times a day to this one's house and that one's and that one's and that one's, checking. That's why you see us all driving around all the time, is because people have asked us to go by and they're not here right now and to watch their place. And we've had 2 or 3 break-ins this month.
Yes, we've had, also petty crime out in filing 3, not just counting break-ins, stuff that's not reported. My father has personally witnessed 2 break-ins and notified our sheriff's office.
Well, we had a truck stole out of a guy's yard in the KV. I saw it going down the road and went and told him, your truck's going down the road. And he's like, he called the sheriff. They still haven't came out to this day. That was 3 weeks ago.
I know, like I said at the last meeting, I've got a stack of reports that, well, God help me, I know I'm on tape, but
2554, I told you I was pretty close.
I've got a stack of reports like this, witness statements, okay, that I've turned into the sheriff's department. They haven't moved. And they,
And I don't know what to do. Dan is he gains 3 and then he loses 2 and then he, and did you see in the center paper, it was the commissioner said, where's all the cop cars? We haven't seen anybody. And I haven't seen anybody over here driving around in a few weeks. And so I think they're somewhere else.
they're at night.
They hide, they come through at night like freaking gremlins.
Well, no, I think there's there's something going on somewhere else, and they're over there. What do they call that? Staking out, whatever.
Surveillance.
Getting ready to do a bust or something. Because we always have them in here. Because I've requested them to come in here, and they haven't been in here in quite a while. And so I think that's why, is because they're out and about. And Dom was coming in here now that he's on. I haven't seen Dom in a month.
There was, it looked like Lysol in the office, Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah, your president was on, yeah. Thank you.
What the fuck?
I'm trying to waste some electricity. Because there was a mountain lion over here, and screw the electricity, I'm not gonna get eaten.
There was a mountain lion.
Yes.
There was a mountain lion in Villa Grove, and then there's been a mountain lion in KV, and he came through my yard. There's
mine too.
tracks in my yard, he's bigger than,
Somebody said he shot it, but I didn't see any signs of blood, I didn't hear him shot. Over where I live, they said they shot it.
Why were you in the
What was
office?
that shot the other night? I posted
I don't know
it.
about last night.
stealing money.
They
No,
shot
it was,
it.
what was it?
What do you think I was in the office for? Shuffling paperwork like I always do. Did you have anything else? I'm sorry.
No, actually, I'm finished.
Okay,
Thank you for your
I
time.
have one thing, no, on that one question, I personally went and talked to Dan about the speeding over there.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Go ahead.
But anyway, he told me that the road had to be engineered to put a sign on it, and I told him that's BS. And I told him, I said, you can park out there. He said, well, if I park out there, they're gonna slow down.
Well, we
I
want
said,
them to
"You
slow
know,
down.
I contacted on that,
They're not.
Maybe we should just hire our own chief of police.
There's plenty of room. to put
Jack went to the sheriff's office on the speed limit signs. I contacted Swatch County Road and Bridge on the speed limit signs. And the speed limit signs are $55 a piece installed.
On their road,
I spent $5,000 on street signs, and a percentage of it was on their roads. Yeah, yeah, and they don't have a problem with that at all.
Well, we would need to start signing them. Hell, I'll donate $25 right now I'll come in tomorrow and I'll give $25 for a damn speed limit sign.
We need
And
to
a stop
actually
sign.
talk to, I don't know who.
County?
I talked to county and I talked to Dan.
Well, I don't know whether because I don't, on the roads in 1 and 2 and Ford, those are county roads. And so the county has the right to post their speed limit on their roads. And the county road bridge guy told me that the slowest we can make it is 25 miles an hour, unless it's a school zone, and then you can do it to 15. Okay, I already do that. Yeah.
Well, most of Fort
But-
is a school zone from,
No,
School
it's
zone is
school
where
route.
there's a school there.
yeah, but there's a school route through there and makes frequent stops.
That don't fly, that don't fly.
And so, but it's what I'm wondering about, which I mean, it all could start. But what I wonder about is, can we put speed limit signs on on the 5 and 3 roads
Yes,
Yes,
that are not county roads?
yes.
yes. And they can enforce it
Yes,
because,
you can, and you can post it at your speed, not the county, because you own it. It's a private
And so
subdivision
that's something I would
with
like to
private
look
roads.
into.
But now when we go to Ford, we have to put a stop sign. We have to designate which roads are gonna be our thorough, which ones are not. Which I would suggest like Nakashima, Tapido, Gold Hill,
All the south ones go
and
down.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Tennessee from Ford to Tapido is a through road. Nakashima ends here.
yeah.
That road should be through with a T. All those other roads in there should have stop signs on them. And I can't tell you how many, I could write a book in a week on tickets if people don't stop at stop sign. Stop. I mean, they don't even slow down on Gloria B. They come up to that and see if they can jump forward. I mean, I ain't kidding.
So that's something that, and then we really, I really don't know where we're gonna get the money to do these speed limit signs. But it definitely is something to think about.
And the
Seems like the
KB
county ought to take care
enforces
of that.
speed limit signs, or would it have to be done by the sheriff, even though it's on private property?
you just give the sheriff
So the county can't
permission
hire
to
their own
enforce.
Security
Yeah,
to
you can hire a security, but you gotta pay them and insure them and,
be able
It's
to,
like having
yeah,
a,
reduce the theft, catch the speeders.
They're not cheap either.
well, the whole thing is they gotta be a certified peace officer to write a ticket.
they can, you know, you can hire somebody,
Not
but
city
it would cost a fortune.
But
Why
you
don't we
can't-
just become a town? That way we can actually write and enforce our own codes and
That's
covenants.
the problem, we have no way to enforce it.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's start at the top. The Danny Mondale was served, what month is this? February 20th. The foreclosure, he had till February 13th to pay. He did not pay. The sheriff's office served him on February 20th. And it went to Jacob sent the paperwork to the Swash County Sheriff's Office. And it's in the newspaper office now, and it will be published in a couple of weeks. And then that sheriff's sale will end May 23rd on that property there. Pray that someone buys it. Think about it, a 1.4 acre lot with electricity across the street with a water tap for $6,100. That's a pretty good deal. I hope
Yeah,
so.
but they gotta clean it.
That's a bonus.
Catch.
Hey, Jack, that's a bonus.
That's the bonus, you can get all kind of prizes there.
Like Fanta and Corona.
Alright.
Just make sure your tetanus is up.
That's the day the auction ends, May 23rd. It was February 13th, he was served on February 20th, and then the auction ends May 23rd, sorry. Jacob has written election rules and regulations for us, and Jacob will be here April 2nd at 5 p.m. We're having a special meeting. And it will be only election, to go over the election rules and regulations that Jacob has written. So I hope that everybody can come to that and put in some input and on those. I've looked at a preliminary of them and it looks pretty good. The county said that they would do the rest of the street signs, which is the signs in 3, because we got 1 and 2 last fall.
Well,
Except with, well, and they're gonna go around the ones that they did, because I kind of jokingly said, why are the street signs crooked? And the boss came out and went, Why are they crooked?
Yeah, you don't wanna put a level on them. What for
And so,
fun?
no, they're coming out after frost and before paving and finish your street and straighten the street signs that they did. And the signs are already ordered and in. And they will do every street in Funding 3. Except the signs that we have had here before I moved here 25 years ago. Those old green ones that are out on CC.
Those
the
need
ones-
to be replaced too.
Those ones that are on the ends here and on the ends here. I don't have money enough right now.
No, it's not your problem.
And so,
On,
one step at a time. And so, we did the last fall section. We got this spring coming up. And I'm praying that next fall, we can change out those 25-year-old green ones. And it'll be the same materials and by then the county ought to be done paving. And then if we have money enough, we will replace those old 25-year-old signs. But I didn't have money enough right now because I didn't know what we were getting in. Because I ordered those in December and January, and I didn't have any money. And so I only ordered the $2,500 or $2,600 worth. Okay, he was first, sorry.
Go ahead.
the signs off of county roads like CC, they've been there for 20+ years.
Yeah, those green ones, yeah, they were here before I
Okay.
got here.
Those are a county responsibility. They're supposed to go by annually, their sign department, and check for photoreflectivity. That has to meet a certain bar level or they're replaced. Now, if there was a road and ditch committee, they could call the county and say, you need to replace these ones on your county road. You also need to replace your culverts. I know there's one over in Filing 2 that somehow got cut with the road grader that's filled half full of dirt. Stuff like that. I mean,
You can, what my experience was from last summer is you cannot tell Saguache County Road and Bridge anything.
that's when you make a formal complaint to the county commissioners.
And I don't see that going anywhere either, but.
Yeah, but it's gonna be on record that you tried something.
And so instead of attempting to get the county to come in and grade their roads, attempting to get the county to come in and do these things, I just did it myself, and I got it done.
Well, just like the last time Ford was freaking, not this last time, but the time before, it was even graded. I had to call in, I made a formal request of Randy. Randy told me to go pound sand, so I called Tim Lovato and threatened to make a formal complaint to the county commissioners. Next day, fucking Randy was out there blading the goddamn road.
Well, I requested that the roads be plowed this week, and they've come out and they've graded a few of the roads. They haven't got Johnson done, and they haven't got Alexander done, or did they do them today? Because I had to go on Poncha Pass tonight, so I didn't drive around tonight. But so they're supposed to be grading Johnson and Alexander and Rundle and Beretta, because they have just been horrible. That Johnson over there, because he pulled all
Where's
that junk.
Beretta?
Beretta is right here, straight right here.
I thought that was Woodard.
Woodard is right here.
Is it Beretta or Burrell? I thought it was
Berella.
Burrella.
Berella, sorry.
I was-
Sorry.
It's right here, right there.
Berella,
I got it down.
whatever.
Oh,
Anyway,
I just thought I was seeing what he's
They
saying.
have done half of what I asked them to do. And so next week, if they haven't finished the other half, I'm gonna hit them again. And try to get them to do some of this. But the street signs, I waited and I waited and I finally said, I would like to buy street signs and I need you to put them in. And they ordered them and they put them in.
But see, that's the problem.
And-
Randy and Elby will not, in case you go in there and you hold their feet to the fire and show them in the book, under the rules and regulations, under the 43 code, that's their responsibility. They're not gonna do it. And then you gotta take it to Tim and Anderson and say, hey, this is what your so-called road boss is doing. What are you gonna do about it?
Cause we paid $2,500 in street signs last fall on county roads.
And by law, they're supposed to be pushing them in.
But I asked them and I asked them and I asked them from the
Off
second
of
week of
county
July when I, became president, that we needed street signs. And finally, last November, I got my signs put up, because I said, I'll pay them, bill me, let's go.
Well, see, that's it. They don't wanna spend their money. They wanna spend your money, even though how many times has the school district sued Road and Bridge for taking money that didn't belong to them? It's in the paper damn every 6 months. Cause that would be, the money goes there and they say, well, we ain't running the buses out there, you gotta pay us to do it. No, by law, you gotta do it. And they've lost.
Okay, let's keep going, please. Our blue water tank for the North Well is in Colorado Springs. And so Ken Dalby will be calling me. I called him the other day and he said Monday, Tuesday, I'm gonna call him. And so in the next 8 days, we should have blue tank here and in.
They're gonna install it, right?
Ken Dalby will. We have to help. And so I need to get a hold of Pete.
So how long are we gonna be without water?
No, they don't. We have 2 tanks, and we shut the tank we're replacing, which is the north tank. We shut the north tank off. Water pressure will be a little bit slower, because we're only on 1 pump and 1 tank. And then they'll grab that tank and they'll pull it out, and then they'll put that new tank in, and Dalby will plumb it. And then they push the button and turn it, and we got both of them turned back on.
I have a question when we're
down that much.
No, because you're only on 1. Yeah, go ahead.
on our well up there, the north well, I think it is, correct?
The west
Westwell.
West well. Well, are we gonna be working on putting in a chlorination system so we can get that well operational? I remember in one of the board meetings, you
That's what
asked
you said
this
you
board for permission to pursue it, and they gave it to you. And I was wondering, what is the status on that?
We are not going to just put a chlorination system in there. We're gonna totally rebuild that entire well.
Okay,
New pipe, new pump, new wire. There is no chlorination system in there, so a chlorination system. And then we are going to put a pipe coming out of it before the meter for fire trucks to fill.
okay.
Because we need water source for our fire departments here.
Well, you gonna do that with the well down here at the pond too?
If I live long enough.
Cause that
Yes,
wouldn't
I
take
know.
that much, as that pipe's already aerial.
That if I live long enough, that's on the agenda. And then I pray to make it solar. But I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Speaking about solar, there's places online, and Tabitha has even installed them over there at the Saletta Hospital that are solar streetlights that we could place down through there to illuminate that for the fire department and stuff. Like solar streetlights, they aren't that expensive.
Over the west well,
Yeah,
there's already a mercury light there, and then we'll do solar there also after we get it put together. So that
and
it can be lit up like whatever they need.
well, like the streetlights I have at my home, they're dim until something breaks the eye and then they light up for the period something's moving around underneath them, like lighting up a fire hydrant or something like that. So it's easier to see. Yes, you can see with overheads and spotlights, but it's a lot nicer when you got the area illuminated already. But the point I was trying to get is I'm putting in solar streetlights is a very viable option because it wouldn't take long for a $300 solar streetlight to pay for itself, considering $25 a month for one through REC.
There's a lamp down there on that west well, and it's a little too far south for me, and I think when we get done, I want it to get so that it can be, because we're already paying for it. And you sign a contract, and I don't know how many years we have left on that contract. And so we either buy it out or pay it every month. And then when that is done, then we'll definitely look into something else. And I was wanting to do, because we're having so much problem here, doing
Those solar
lights
streetlights.
here.
Well, at my house, I have what I like to call silent sentinels. You pick them up at Walmart for $25. They're the solar area lights. Tabitha has them. You put them on the corner of the building. They pick up solar light, and in the middle of the night, something walks through, it lights up really bright. I mean, I've had to have an ambulance at my house when my uncle was staying there for a little bit. And the ambulance was able to see all the lights from up to the top of 285, clear down where I'm at. They light up the area really well.
Talking about solar for the well. I don't know if you want to, but call Luke Christie down here in Monte Vista.
What's the name of the company?
Sun Edison.
Yes.
He's
I
the
have
one
that
that did
information.
Shell North, he did Monte Vista. You can get a grant to put this in. And he's got direct lines with it. I've talked to him before about it, under the other administration that wouldn't listen to anything. But anyway, Luke said he'd be more than willing to come up here and work a bid for us, and he knows how to make the bid for a grant. And Del Norte, the first time those people had a raise since they've become existent was after they put in that solar system for their wells. Everybody got a $4 raise.
Valley. All right, we've got bingo.
This Saturday.
Oh, I was reading February 15th, I was going, that's past. Bingo in the KV Clubhouse, March 14th, 7 to 9 p.m. I thought it was last Saturday, so I come over here in my red sweats. Nobody was here.
He won.
And I lost too. Cheese and rice, I
Will
lost.
the door be open when we start, so we get things set up?
What day of the week is that?
Saturday.
Saturday. So can you have the door open?
Cause Granny's doing chili
I'm
dogs.
gonna do some food, so we have some concessions.
March 14th, 7 to 9 p.m. And Tabitha's got these silver bars, I mean real silver bars. I wanna hold those while y'all are playing the game and then I'm gonna go.
Those are for the barbecue.
silver bar.
Silver bars, bars
Oh,
of
silver
silver.
barbecue.
Not silver balls, buddy, shame on you. Silver bars.
Those are for the barbecue, Mike.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
those
are-
are for the barbecue.
Yeah, the
Oh.
bingo was
Barbecue,
just,
the silver bar challenge. It's a 50% payback, so whoever wins gets 50% of the pot for that round. And the other 50% goes to buy more supplies for bingo next time.
and the food is modestly priced at $2 for chili dog and hopefully get some Fritos, a little Frito pie.
Contact Tina if you need somebody.
Okay,
Which I was gonna ask, what are we gonna do about making change for the bingo? Cause I was well under my $200 budget, so. can we
Now she wants
change?
more money. I thought I divorced the lady.
yeah, see, that's when you might up on.
Yeah, but I only want $20.
Yeah.
I think,
How much do you want in a cash box?
I, $20 is all we need, and just like to make
Quarters
change.
and stuff, like
Yeah,
change
change,
and
yeah.
some singles.
Let me tell you guys something. I'm doing all this president stuff, and it has been incredible to have a secretary that's handling the office. And she's handling this office, 110%. And I have not had to go in that office. Sometimes I go, I guess I ought to go to the office. It's been 2 weeks. And I have not had to go handle the office too, because I've done that in the past. Had to do both. And so it's been awesome. So don't bother me with that stuff. Tina could do that.
And I need $20 more.
No.
Okay, Cooley should be here, I'm hoping, here pretty quick to start grading all the roads.
Make sure he puts a crown in the damn thing.
No, we're pulling ditches.
And he
doing
can
a-
build his
And
crown
I
at the
have-
same
that's what
time.
I'm gonna
The maintainer that they used last year had some sort of a computer thing in there, and he could tell what his crown was. And Pete was telling me he was surprised how much crown there was down there when he graded last year. Bingo.
do. What road?
I'd
Okay,
like to know what road.
At Pleasant Pen.
it's that time of the year. What do we wanna do about a backhoe person?
Hire one.
Whole time.
And when do you guys wanna start digging?
What do you?
Cause we got a tap tonight. Does somebody wants to inquire, and then they're paying, or they're just inquiring? Right to Michael Pushakevich and I'll wait for Davis. And, so I have the ad from last year, I might actually be able to find that.
So this is to put
Shit,
in
I don't know
water
where it's
taps,
at.
this is to put in water taps for the year?
And fix water leaks and
Install culverts properly.
we're gonna, I wanted to buy about 12 culverts. And we've got 30 water taps that were installed in the past that are wrong. And they have to be done, they have to be
That's
fixed.
the ones that are,
Yeah, those are the ones that are, yeah, in our easement. And problem, and I think lawsuit. And we've got to get those fixed. And so, what do you guys feel about putting an ad in the paper for a backhoe guy?
How about a proper equipment operator, that way you can also run that piece of junk you got out there? That grader.
How dare you speak that way about my Pathfinder? It is paid for.
I'm talking about that yellow paperweight.
Oh, paperweight. He needs to come fix that.
Need to sell it.
And were we gonna have
I'll
designated
give you 50
days
cents
for
scrap
water taps
price.
to the community, so we can expect when the water to be off?
Was Tuesdays, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like Tuesdays before,
That's up to the board, and you're a board member now. So,
I found it helpful, I'm sure the community would know, on
I,
a designated day, if the water's off, you know, water tap's being done.
I just wanted it done when it needed to be done, so I was kind of not interested in that. But I understand that, and so, yeah, we
It gives
can.
us advance notice, we got animals and kids and.
Well, and I also have probably 60 gallons of water stored in my house, so that I can do something. Yeah, with you, 60 gallons don't last very long.
No,
That
that's
just
just my
waters the
son
dog.
showering.
He's got a house full of kids,
Sounds like our daughter when she's showering.
and yeah, they got a daughter. So what do you guys think? Can I put an ad in the paper for a new backhoe guy? Because I think we need to look into a new one.
Knows what they're doing.
Licensed, bonded, and insured, please.
That actually,
License.
actually shows up and works. That's the thing that pisses me off the
Instead of
most.
killing time.
It's like I have this much work to do, and then the next week, I have this much work I need you to do, and then the next week, they come at 2 o'clock and they do one thing, and it's like, I still have this list of stuff I need you to do. And so, I don't know. Alright, that is that. So what do you think? We just play it by ear as to when we can start doing taps? We kinda need to try to, May 15th? End of May, what do you think?
You can start digging in April.
I've already put in a core system, faucet system, about 11 miles down the road, the ground's not frozen.
Oh, it's ready to dig now, Mike.
You can
I
start.
just hate to tear stuff up when you start digging frozen, you can tear stuff up and
You got
I
a
just,
teeth backhoe, you don't even need teeth on to dig out here.
where do you buy them at? We need to look at that and get some more Bob.
I'll check on it when I go over there and buy
I'll
those.
just put a solid
That other
teeth on
Jeep.
it.
Yeah. Alright, I'll put that in the paper because,
Mike, can I make another suggestion? When you buy your culverts, buy the bands, so you can put 220s, so, because your base is 45 foot.
no, the subdivision roads are 18 to 22 feet across.
Well, then you're gonna need to start taking out those sweeping corners.
Me and you run the tape.
Yeah, and that road is too wide.
That,
And that road is too wide at 45 feet. Subdivision, secondary roads are 18 to 20 feet wide. And so a 45-foot road is not gonna happen. When Cooley comes in this spring, he's gonna make that a 22-foot road. And any of the other ones that are that way also.
alright. As long as they're uniform.
But anybody that knows somewhere to get some reasonably priced culverts, I'm interested in some information. Because I was not impressed with $800 a culvert.
There's no way you
There's
should
got to
go.
be somewhere better.
Go down there to
There's
Big
got
R
to
in freaking Alamosa.
There's got to be, I mean, we'll order 12 culverts, or write a check for it, and they can deliver them, there's got to be something cheaper than $800 a culvert.
Tabitha?
How long? And
Huh.
how long and how round?
18 inches, galvanized,
Still.
I want American culverts,
Okay, do you want them elliptical?
and I want them, 30 foot long,
Let me check with my guy.
steel, galvanized steel.
Do you want them elliptical?
What does that mean?
Okay, so when you look at corrugated metal, the ridges are all perfect. Elliptical is a spiral on the inside to get that water moving. Do we need an elliptical?
We don't need, especially if it's more expensive, cause there's no water.
It's not usually.
Well, it depends on what the county rules and regulations are, don't
I
you
don't
have
think the
to?
county says that they need to be elliptical.
Not on my streets.
Yeah, why do you think we have to pay the county to put in freaking culverts for roads?
On your driveway,
what
took permits?
It's county governed. You gotta
right
meet
there
the
in
same
the driveway,
regulations as the
We'll look into
county.
that, I'll look into that, but look into both,
Okay.
because $800 a culvert, we gotta beat that somehow.
Well,
And I wanna do about a dozen culverts. And so at $800 a piece, 12 of them is gonna make my pocket thin.
HD Pipe and Supply doesn't charge deliveries if it's a full truck, usually.
Who?
HD Pipe and Supply, they don't charge full, they don't charge deliveries. HD.
D as in David.
David. HD Pipe and Supply, his name's Robert Sanchez, and he'll end up calling you and confirming the price with you.
Where's that out of?
It's out of Colorado Springs.
What about Penrose Steel? Are they even still in
They
business?
screwed me the last time.
Okay.
Yeah, we ordered one from.
Well, and I'm finding that there's several people that I used to use 100 years ago that aren't even still in business.
HD Pipe and
So-
Supply is now Core and Main, they've merged together. So they supply most major municipalities, so they price, when they do deliveries, if they say they're bringing something to Salida, I don't get charged for them bringing something to me. And you get the same deal, they just automatically.
Well, with 10 or 12 culverts, whatever a load is, we
That'd
can
be
be
full.
our own load.
That'd be a full load.
Yeah. Okay, the last thing I have, and then we're gonna kick everybody out, and the board members are gonna stay, and we got about 6 things we're gonna go through. Valerie Bertrand lived over there on Martinez Street in the old Sutherland house, and she passed away. She used to work at all the sale barns around here, and there is a celebration of life for Val May 2nd from 1 to 3 at the Salida Sale Barn. And
I didn't know she lived here.
she lived in that Sutherland house over there, the first house on the
She's
right.
Ernie
Right
Padilla's
next to
twin
Agnes.
sister.
Huh?
Agnes?
Isn't she Ernie Padilla's sister?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, she's lived there for, 5, 6 years. Yeah, 'cause Cheyenne has been to school here,
Yeah, with my kids.
Good.
and she passed away in that house. And, that house is now for sale for $52,000. What was I talking about that? Is there anybody that has anything else?
I'm currently looking for the county road use.
Put it
For-
together for me for next month, please.
Do you want me to
Okay,
check out
I will.
prices for those standing?
Culverts, that would be great.
Well, that-
Send them to the office.
Whoa, mailboxes. I know I'm looking for culverts, we already talked about that. The standing mailboxes, you want me to get a price on those too?
Might as well.
You said you guys,
We can entertain the prices on them. I'm not excited about those. Because I like my mail in front of my house.
I like my
Go
mail
out in
not
my
being
red
stolen.
sweats and get my mail.
I picked up Felicia's ATM card out of my driveway because somebody ripped it off out of the mailbox and was driving down the road.
No question, does everybody have to submit to this? Like, say if you put these boxes in,
Probably.
does everybody do it, then I think you should have to vote for everybody else, because I don't think everybody wants their mailbox.
Because I don't.
I like mine right in front of my
Would there
house.
be a fee for each box owner?
I'm not sure that's something we need to talk
Because
to
if there is, then it
about.
would be preference. You can keep it
Yeah.
on your street or.
Well, see, and
You
I
can
don't
have
think that
box.
they're gonna do that because
Well,
when the dude came, or it might have been a woman, several years ago when I was over here, Market Post Office was really shoving it because Erlene's route was taking too long. And so they wanted to come and a person that was on the board at that time wanted it in front of their house. And everybody in the community would have to go. And the first thing I said is, I don't want everybody pulling up in front of my house to get their damn mail. you know, but they did, that person did. But it was gonna be everybody in one bank at one location.
There are several spots along there, quite a few mailboxes that it is now.
Like,
Well-
my filing, we don't have mailboxes in the front, they're all down in front of Mundell's
In
house.
Johnson, I know it, and I don't understand why that is, but maybe that's
I'll
the
tell
way
you what,
it's.
he's an asshole about it, he don't want us all pulling up in front of his house either.
But wouldn't it
I-
be better in a central location
Yeah.
for
I don't-
security
What
reasons?
about the areas that
Dude,
don't have the
I
option
worked
of
for the
having it in
post
front of
office
their house?
for a few months, and I tell you what, these post offices will not put these boxes in on time. You submit it now, you're gonna be waiting 5 years before you get it.
Well,
5 years. I
I've
guarantee you.
already talked to the postmistress in Crestone. She's got the boxes ready to go.
All they have to do is
All
pour
we
the
have to
pad.
do is say now, her construction crew will come up. All we gotta do is pour the pad, and they will install them. She's got them in Alamosa.
A bunch of keys.
Only to determine how many boxes we need then.
Well, what she wants to do is, cause we're having problems with, like Chet, with these medicines, there's no secured area.
Yeah.
What they would do is put the big boxes here, and then they would put a key in your mailbox. So you know that you got a big package, so you would get the key, come down here and unlock it and leave the key.
So it'd just be a key thing for packages type of thing,
Yeah,
rather than
they're-
everyday mail.
Like you,
No,
what they have for
everyday mail in your
UPS.
box.
Yeah, there's
Our
all,
security boxes, I don't have a problem.
everybody's
Those are
boxes would
easy to
be up
get.
here, and then
I'm
in
just
your,
talking about
in your
everybody's
box
mailbox, all
would be
in
a
like
key
certain
with a
locations
number on
down
it,
here.
and then
No,
down here,
that would be
box
good,
5.
but a security box for,
Five is where
yes, I know the post office does those.
From grabbing your
So I
key.
know a couple times people will call me up
Because you have to
and
have a
when I was
key to
working there,
unlock
he'd
your
be like,
mailbox.
we got this key, what does this key mean? I go, do you have a security box somewhere in your neighborhood?
No, it'd be a
Yes.
key
Go
to
over there and
unlock
get you that
your
package.
box
People
every
don't
day.
understand that, there's not like a,
And then if you happen to have a package inside your box with your mail, would be a key that would fit in
Yeah,
that
and that's
bottom
bad.
box.
So, yes, so like on that side, I can see it's essentially.
No, no,
as
no,
long
no,
as,
no,
long as,
no.
you know, everybody
No,
does
no,
not
no,
conform.
And then,
With,
once you
you
put
know,
that key in there,
If
you
you're getting
open
it,
it,
you're
then that
prepared,
key
but
locks
over
in
there,
that box.
it's only done.
And then the
Yeah.
postmistress has to come and take it out of there.
Or Lynn would have to, what I was told by her, the key, you get the key. Erlene would leave the key in your mailbox. So you'd come down here instead of driving all the way to Monte Vista or Villa Grove
Moffett.
or Moffett, you would drive down here, take your key, stick it in that box, let's say 3. Stick it in here, turn it, you open it up, take your box out, leave the key. Now Erlene has got an insert that goes into to release that key.
But the key would not be in your box that you have. The key would be in your box that's here above these packages
No.
box. Yes, they are.
What
Because
she
my
was
mother
telling
had a
me-
set of boxes just like that, and Erlene delivers to that one up on the Thurston, or on the Ewing up there. All those people into Ewing have the bank of boxes up there on CC.
Yeah, I know, but
And
what
that's
you-
where
But see,
they all
that
have to
makes
go.
more sense, because if you put a key in a box in front of somebody's house, somebody's
It's
gonna
gone.
go take the key just as good as taking your mail. They come
And it
down
says
here
5
and grab
on it, and so you drive down
And
there
they're
and
gonna
open
know
box
which
5.
box they go.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is what she told me, that's the way it works. She says she's got a lot of them. She's put them in up on Lariat Road. She's naming all kinds of places that she has put them, and she's got a surplus.
And maybe it's not feasible for 2, but for 3 where we don't get mail in front of their house, and over here, they don't get mail in front of their house. Maybe this filing isn't feasible.
Well, it would
but
be
the other
a
two-
bank somewhere, just like you have a bank in front of Mundell's house. So it would still be the same thing as what you're dealing
Just
with.
having
But
a
it'd be
key
tweaker
would be
proof.
secure,
Yeah, but nobody
It'd
can
be
walk up.
tweaker proof.
I've had to be in front of the DA in Alamosa because some gal went by and stole my stuff out of my mailbox. And she got caught in Alamosa trying to use, you know, those credit card deals that they send you. She was trying to activate it. And she got nailed down there. And then I had to go down there and go through this rigmarole, show up for court because they prosecuted her for identity.
All right, is there anything else? Cause I wanna talk to the board for about 15 minutes and I wanna go home.
All right.
Oh,
So you're moving to executive meeting?
oh, no, it's not an executive session. We have to do these, dude.
Yeah, I know, I'll get down there.
You're down here at 3 o'clock in the morning, you do this.
All right, let's talk.
We have to do these.
Are you?
What are these?
That's the one of them.
Oh, this is the dude, check it out.
Kate Farnham is what it's called.
This dude wants to get a building permit to put that in, it's in finding two. And look at that map, I love that map.
Doesn't he put you down on the thing for, building permit for next month? Alright, good night, y'all.
Good night, thank you for coming down. Oh, we had two people that emailed me and said they weren't coming, cause they were tonight, because they were afraid of the
And my garden.
coronavirus.
Oh, hey, you know.
They did, two people from the KD emailed me
They're
tonight.
pretty hysterical about it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's no alcohol, rubbing alcohol, just doing sanitizer.
Somebody put, I think it was Chelsea put it on Facebook with the toilet paper heat, so I don't know.
No, and they stock it
None
every
left.
night. They stock it every night and it's gone by like.
We should like get a surplus in the game, you could make some money selling toilet
I don't
paper.
understand what toilet paper's doing.
Well, then I had that joke on Facebook that said, so everybody in this big deal about washing their hands, what have you guys been doing all the other rest of your life?
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be covered in metal.
Now, good night, y'all.
Thank you for coming over.